Load shedding has become more than just an inconvenience. The consequences of rolling blackouts have taken a heavy toll on South Africans, and patience seems to have run out.
We have to protest so that the government can speed up and make something better so that we can live a better life.
It's really tough for me to say people should act because you know how South Africans act, violence and stuff, so I wouldn't want that to happen, but I really plead with Eskom that they help us.
I believe it's time that we really do take a stand now, and we have that national shutdown for us to be heard.
They must protest because I think only then they will get the picture. They must have a national shutdown or something.
It is scary reading the news, seeing the kind of anger levels that people are up at, the frustration levels that people are hitting because it feels like nothing is being done to turn us in the opposite direction.
The tipping point is here. South Africans are no longer going to be put up with this. We need to confront, talk, and deal with those who have caused this crisis to exist and to continue without resolution. It must now be resolved. And if they cannot resolve it, they should leave the offices of power.
If you're not affected by something, you're not going to make any changes. Cyril's got no idea what goes on the ground, and that's my biggest gripe.
According to legal firm Van Deventer and Van Deventer Incorporated Attorneys, South Africans do have legal recourse, breach of contract and delect. Delect is when public policy considerations come into play.
Now, in order for this type of claim to succeed, all 5 elements of a delict must be proved: that of conduct, wrongfulness, fault, causation, and damage. It must be noted that taking legal action based off of the previously mentioned grounds may be extremely difficult to prove and would require thorough thought and action.
Breach of contract relates to the contract between a service provider and its customer and the legal obligation the party has to honor that contract. In this case, this refers to consumers who directly purchase electricity from Eskom.
To render service in terms of a contract and the party fails to deliver. This results in a breach of contract. However, there will generally be applicable disclaimers of liability, which could ultimately limit the claim. When considering Eskom's standard conditions, they exempt Eskom from liability for damage, except where it's caused by Eskom's negligence. And negligence is often difficult to prove.
While it may be challenging, consumers may be able to prove that Eskom has neglected to effectively maintain the country's electricity infrastructure, which results in load shedding, which is a secondary response to such negligence. However, Balak refers to Eskom's standard conditions in which the utility does not guarantee that the same energy generation or energy supply level will always be maintained. This provides some sort of indemnity. Here, Eskom could argue that load shedding is neither wrongful nor negligent, as it has arisen out of necessity. A necessity based on Eskom's obligation to mitigate the risk of a complete national blackout. Balak says that while consumers may be able to lay a claim against Eskom for loss or damage caused by load shedding, it is important to consider the legal costs involved, which could be higher than the claimed amount. Abra Barbia, SABC News, Parliament.